We'd been out a few days hunting, archery hunting in the early part of the season, and wasn't seeing no bucks at all, not even any small ones. We were seeing plenty of doe, but just no bucks. And so we took a few days off because I had to have a heart valve replaced. And then a day or two after that, I got that done. We was back out there. And
so Liv had just killed her doe a little while ago, and she decided to let me have a chance to hunt, which I didn't really need. I mean, if she wanted to hunt for a buck, I would have filmed for her. But hey, she insisted on me going out after a buck because I'd been busy with school and everything too. And she said she would work the camera for me, and Liv's very good with the camera, so she did a really good job filming.
Well, it's October 23rd, and we're up here in the food plot for our evening hunt. It's 80 degrees, and the wind's bad, so yeah, pretty much we're just banking on a buck showing up and not smelling us. So, is what it is. Just nice to get out, perhaps over the hill from as it is stand. Hopefully they can get a shot at something if we do. But we're kind of banking on the deer moving because it's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow morning. But the temperature's going to drop all day tomorrow, so hopefully they get moving in the evening, and we'll definitely all be out in the evening. Is it just me, or is it? What do you say that's about? It's 6 o'clock. My dad said they seen 2 doe fall off. That's about it. Honestly, it's kind of like a swirly wind, and it's hot out, so I doubt they move that much. I should have just stayed in and done homework.
Matthew took me out in the evening, and we were sitting there. Wasn't seeing a whole lot that evening, and I looked up and I seen a deer clean up the top of the hill.
We get looking. He said, "I think it's a buck," and I find it with the binoculars. Yeah, it's a buck. I said, "It's coming down off the hill," and I said, "Yeah, it's a legal buck." So, and I thought it looked like a pretty decent buck.
He gave me a decent shot. It might have been quartering towards me just a little bit. And I shot, and it took off. And I knew I hit it, but I thought I hit it pretty good. It looked to me like I hit it right behind the shoulder.
I said, "Well, why don't I get out and find blood before it gets dark? See if I can at least find the arrow or find blood and mark the blood." Well, I get out and I find blood pretty quick.
Matthew, after a while, he followed the blood trail out and got to the quad trail where it went up the hill. And he said it bled good at first, but then it went down to hardly nothing.
We got Dad loaded up and took him back to the house to give the deer some time. And Taylor and Liv and Bernie come for us to look for Dad's deer.
Well, how do you feel?
Huh?
How do you feel about it?
Better if there was a lot more blood.
I still think the shot was good.
You think it was a good shot?
Yeah.
Ain't hardly any blood.
If anything, it was a light low, but it was behind the shoulder.
That's good.
I never saw the hit, but when the deer took off, of course I was able to look then, but I tried looking through the binoculars on the side that he shot at. I could see a tuft of hair right behind the shoulder. Up and down looked good. I didn't see no blood, so I don't know if that was a hit or not. But then when it turned, the other side looked like wet and low and back. So I don't know. I didn't see no blood looking through the binoculars at either spot. So I don't know. But the where it was at, I found the arrow covered in blood, and then about 15 yards I found blood, and it was drop, then nothing. Couldn't find nothing. Heading towards where that gully goes up towards the Y. Yeah. And couldn't find nothing. And we saw a buck walk across the top up there, and we don't know if it was him. At the time, we didn't know if it was him or another buck. We only saw it for a split second. Well, I couldn't find no blood, and I went up there on the top, and I found one speck. I mean speck on the quad trail up on top.
Was he like ripping and tearing?
No, he was walking slowly and only see one speck. So that don't make me feel real good. And it's supposed to start raining at midnight, so we got some work cut out for us. I tried calling Scotty, no answer. Barney's still on a job, but he said as soon as he's done.
Yeah.
So
Good thing we got Liv here.
Yeah, he's an expert tracker.
all right, Dad, you can turn around. We both spied that at the same time. He's going to cut off of this somewhere to the right. I'm just knowing it.
They went up there and it wasn't much to find, but Matthew found some watery looking stuff.
There was a trail cut off the tram road. And I started onto that trail a little bit, and I saw some more of them water droplets. And something just telling me there shouldn't be no water droplets out there as hot and dry as it was. As I'm standing there, I'm looking, and I see something white. What end? I know. There's like two of them. Uh-huh. Thank goodness. Now
That's a
ain't
heck
bad
of a buck.
hit. That's where he hit
It's
it.
a little back. Did you find blood?
Ribs. No, I looked over and saw belly.
That's almost center mass. That's a heck of a buck.
That's a nice buck.
And it's got a goofy rack. It's almost
I
a,
bet you 17, 18
1,
inches.
2, 3, 4. That's an inch.
That Dad would call that. That's
Holy
5 on that
smokes.
side.
4, 5, 6,
turn him more like,
7, 8, 9, 10.
turn him more. He's,
Let me do something with the lantern tight.
yeah, I mean, who knows, all of
I
his
was
blood
seeing,
could be
I
coming
had
out.
seen wet. See this clear, like wet? I seen some drops and it was clear. And I'm like, it's so
I seen
dry,
some of
there
them
shouldn't be
too.
nothing. Goodness gracious. It's a nice buck.
Yeah, it
I
is.
told you I thought it looked like a decent buck.
Oh yeah,
You see how the one brow point growed out of the middle of its head?
that's almost, that would probably been a double main beam.
No blood, but we got him. No blood, but I found him.
Yeah, look at that.
He hit about the center body on the side you went in the rib a little bit, and it come out like at the very back of the rib, but no blood. We found a couple drops past it and then lost it. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on one side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 on the other side. I'll say 5, so we're gonna call him a 10. And probably about 18 inches, 17, 18 inches. Yeah, I'd say 17. He's goofy racked. Big deer. But we found him, that's all that counts. And Taylor don't have to drag too far to get to the quad trail. We're probably about 30 yards off the quad trail, but we're where it starts to drop down. We're almost to the gas line. And he was down in, I'd seen them clear liquid. Something kept telling me, that didn't seem right. And we wasn't finding no blood, so I kept skirting along the edge there and looking into the briars, and I seen him. So we got him. We'll get him tagged and gutted, and we'll be down. All right, I sent pictures. I don't know if they went through or not. All right, Dad. Bye. He didn't get the pictures. His phone was on vibrate. I said that was a shock when I said we got him. It was just clear liquid, and it just looked like...
Yeah, did you see that
and I
leaf
think he
there?
probably blew it out of his mouth is what I'm thinking. I think it come out of his mouth.
Well, look at the stuff
would
that
make
came out of
sense
Liv's.
because I found the spot of that clear liquid right at the edge of the quad trail coming in here.
Yeah. So I found a little bit, and I kept looking, and I'm like, and I didn't see no more, and I kept looking, and I'm looking, and I'm like, it just don't seem right. And I got up there, and I shined the light, and I saw a little bit of white belly. I'm like, Oh, shit, that's him. And I didn't know if he was dead or not because I couldn't see him good enough. And that's when I whistled the ends. Oh, here he comes. He's ready. He's already in the cold room.
Oh, yeah. I didn't pay much attention to his rack.
We didn't have enough time to really look at his rack.
Oh, trust me, he looks a lot better when you get him like
growing
that.
out of his skull here.
Yeah, that's a pretty good rack. Yeah.
So I called this one a point.
That's a point.
And I called this one a point. I didn't call that one a point. If you called that, that'd be an 11. But look at that brow tine.
Yeah, that's weird, ain't it?
I didn't notice him being so weird when he come down before you shot him. And this is almost like his beam here, and this almost comes down off. But I don't know. Maybe not. Hard to say. It's just different, that's all.
Definitely.
What is he big?
Look at his antlers.
He's got crazy rack.
Hello, Bernie.
Hi.
This one here's just growing up out of his skull.
My goodness, what a headache.
And point there.
Twist it around again.
Is there another piece of horn growing out?
This one here is another
That
piece of
one.
horn.
And then
growing
he's
out
got
of his
another
skull.
tiny one
And the
close
other
to
And
it.
he has another one here. We didn't call that a point.
That would be considered another main beam right there.
I do believe. No, he looked nice when he's running away, but he's running away and going away from you sometimes. It looks bigger.
Yep. Still getting her done, I guess.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. We'll get you to turn around to where you're almost behind him and you can hold on like over here. And maybe we can get you to hold up a little bit and we'll take some pictures.
Let them take them. They can
Send them to me. I can't get up there that close. I'll send them to you.
Crazy looking rack, but it's a nice rack. Got points everywhere. Got one growing out of the top of its head. That could be considered, I think, a main beam, or I'd say they would consider that a main beam coming out of there. Not a brow tine. Brow tine comes off of the main beam. Still getting her done.
Anyways, it was a nice buck, and I think I have some trail camera pictures of this deer. Not entirely sure, but
So I had Dad out for some doe. He wasn't able to use his inline that year. This year he was worried about the recoil because right where they cut him to do his valve replacement is where he'd be having the gun tucked away. And
I'm here in the food plot this evening, hopefully gonna get a shot at something. I just decided to come up to this food plot because it was a nice, easy setup, and I just didn't want to have the hassle of everything else trying to remember to bring all my camera gear because I've been super busy with school. And, yeah, it's either gonna happen or it isn't. Pat killed a nice buck right across the hill from us. And it was like 80 degrees out too, so they didn't really move that great. But hopefully something comes in. It's probably like 5:30ish, so it's getting to be a decent time of the evening, so.
pretty early, here come some doe off the top of the hill, and he shot one, took off running to our right, and I followed it with my binoculars and got behind a tree and stopped for a second, then it disappeared. And I told Dad, I said, I think that deer went down up there. Looked like it was about ready to go down. So I says, well, I'm going to get out and look and see if I see any blood and mark the blood. So I got out, found some blood right away, right where the deer was, and I marked the blood trail. And I come back in and I said, well, it's early, so we might as well wait and see if another deer comes. So we got his crossbow cocked and another bolt in it, see if another deer come, giving that one some time. We're sitting here, and here comes some deer from the left. So he shot one of those, looked like a good shot, and the deer took off up over the top of the hill. So I found some blood on that one and marked the blood trail, and then I went looking for the first one that he had hit, and it was laying dead. It was a good shot, a lot of blood, good blood trail. And it was laying dead where I thought I had seen it going down. So I tagged that deer, gutted it out, and drug it down to above his stand there. And I said, well, I'm going to go look for your second one. So I tracked it up to the top of the hill. Pretty good blood. Tracked it across the top of the hill, and the tram across the tram road into the thick stuff up by where his buck had went. Lot of blood. And I come to a bed. And I said, oh, this ain't good. This deer's gotten up and went. So I followed it a little farther just to make sure it wasn't like it just jumped up out of its bed and kicking on its dying breaths there. And I realized that it kept going, so we backed out. I got Dad out of the woods and his first doe out of the woods, and
Whack 'em and stack 'em.
I tried. We'll go get the other one here.
Yeah, we did it. Clear up
After
there
we-
somewhere.
Yeah, it was bleeding good.
Yeah, I tried, didn't I?
Oh, the excitement of it all.
Yeah,
Tom.
we're missing out on that, ain't it? No, miss Tom, that's for sure. Just don't
Yes.
seem right without Tom.
I know. I know.
Take a look at it. See?
I mean, look at all that on them leaves.
But he ain't got both of them, so that deer wouldn't have been all the way down.
Oh, this is gonna be fun to go through. This might be worth going around.
Right here's the speck.
Huh?
I got speck there.
Yeah.
There's a little speck right there on that leaf. See it?
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt
by
shooting
your
that
left
way.
foot, Burn. Is that on the brown?
Yeah, there's someone that there's someone that leaf right there.
Because of that. Get both of them.
it was thick on that tram road, but you could see down over the hill, and we shined the light down there.
Eyes? Dead or alive?
Whose eyes?
Yep. That's probably her. I bet that's her.
It's looking right at us, so we just shut our lights out and sat down and played the waiting game, because if we'd have walked any closer to it, it might have got up and took off. So we'd wait 5-10 minutes and we'd turn our lights back on and shine down over the hill to see if we could see it.
That thing can't have much left in it, though. You know? That's why I think that's why I'm lighting the lantern up.
With us on it.
Oh, what's that over there? Is that a deer there? I don't see no blood in it. There's a speck. There's some blood. Right there,
There
she
she
is
is.
dead.
Right there.
She's dead.
He thinks she's dead.
Not gas line, but the old,
Yeah. Did he shoot at the other side?
coming out. That's
Yeah.
coming out.
A little back.
I told him how thick it was down there. He said, yeah, you guys have had it too good for too long. I left my pup in here.
Well, it's a couple nice doe.
Yep. This is the second one you shot.
That one there is?
Yep.
Doggone, you're right.
Let me do it for you here, too.
I must not have shot the biggest one in the bunch.
No, I don't think it was.
I thought it was too good, but
It's an adult though, but
yeah.
Probably last year's.
ton of blood, ain't it, guys?
Yeah?
Ton of blood until we got out of that bed.
I can't believe that deer was still alive.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have seen how much blood.
Yeah, there was a ton of blood.
There was more blood on this one than the one you shot through the heart.
Foamed up, you know, the whole 9 yards, man.
Whole 9 yards. Huh? Now I got one more doe tag left. I'm gonna try to save it for rifle season. I'll try to get one with the pistol if the weather ain't too bad. If the weather's bad, the heck with it. I'll just stay home.